Good day and welcome to Predators Proclivity, a podcast where most of the time we look at data from the season for the NHL Nashville Predators and make comments upon it. I'm your host, Preston Proctor. Good Sunday. Hey, late on a Sunday doing this podcast. Let me back up and start over. I've promised, or I kind of promised, a minor league update. The last update was back in November the 26th, I think. And since I had so much time between Calgary and Edmonton, I said, let's just put together some information. I got some time today, and let's do our minor league update. And, I just got done throwing the information together, and I said, well, what the heck? Let's just go in the studio and do it, and then that way it's done, and we can live with the regrets later. So I don't know. This is I'm asking you to buckle in and give me some leeway because I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. Very unstructured. Not that unstructured, but I haven't done this before, just doing an update, trying to put together information, realized how hard it is to get information on these minor league teams. And so basically I had to do a ton of legwork on my own and looking stuff up. And, just what you would consider to be maybe the simplest things, really not that simple. Home and away. I guess they do have home and away on here. Okay, so home and away special teams. Okay, so I'm on the looking at the AHL site, and because that's where the Milwaukee Admirals play, and they do have home and away, and so I guess I can check and make sure that my stats match theirs because, home and away, and it was just something going through and trying to find out. 'Cause even just wanting to find out, how the teams did against other teams. I had to put in my schedule the teams and the scores, and then they don't tell you if they go to overtime. You have to click through for the individual games to find out if it went to overtime, if it was a shootout. And that, there are some things I like about the the AHL's website, and some things I like about the ECHL, the East Coast Hockey League that has West Coast teams in it. The ECL is where the Atlanta Gladiators play. The Gladiators being the AA team, the AAA team being the Milwaukee Admirals. So. Little kind of I don't know. It's, first time I've done this, so bear with me. I really wanted to do it because a lot of the players that are in Milwaukee were at training camp with the Preds, and I liked, a number of them. I think if you remember back, on my top 12 forwards, I had Jacob Lacini and Cole O'Hara. They were at the top, and then Reid Schaefer was the first guy out, and so Schaefer is on the team now, and Lucchini and O'Hara are tearing it up in Milwaukee. And then one of my top six defensemen was Ryan Ufko. And so, kind of interesting just to go back and see how they're doing. And the goaltenders, I liked all the goaltenders. I didn't see my eye, not being a goaltender specialist, was not really picking up a lot of difference between the different goaltenders. So here we are, and that's what I'm going to try to do today. Yeah, Ryan Ufko. I had Adam Wilsby, my number 7, and obviously he has played, admirably. So, he definitely very aggressive. He was definitely working hard in training camp, and so he deserved his spot. and that's been good. So, I guess that kind of does. Yeah, well, I mean, I know they've got their 12 guys now. I mean, I just, with things swirling around with Marcia Show, what do they do then? Well, Svechkov is up. Somebody's missing. Oh, well, that's right. So I had Lucchini and O'Hara as my 11 and 12 guys, and Schaefer and Svechkov are up there. Yeah, wasn't that impressed with Svechkov. I mean, well, he was top 15, but he's obviously playing decent. And I had Kyle Marino up on the top. We'll get to him. It's Kyle Marino at 17th. Daniel Carr, I was not impressed with. I'll just be honest with you. When we get in talking about it, Daniel Carr was 29th on my list. 29th. I was not impressed with him. But I'm not to give things away, but I mean, well, let's just get into it. Maybe just get into it, and maybe take a break, and then we'll come back and start talking about the AHL and Milwaukee, because we gotta move this podcast along. Okay, so the AHL just the NHL has its Stanley Cup. The AHL, they fight for the Calder Cup. And basically the way that the AHL does it is that the divisions have different number of teams. The Atlantic has 8, the North and Central is 7, and the Pacific has 10. So what's that, 14, 22, 32? There's 32 teams, but not split evenly. So in every division, the bottom 2 don't make the playoffs. Okay, so 6 teams will make it out of the Atlantic, 5 teams will make it out of the North and Central, 8 will make it out of the Pacific. They play a 72-game schedule, and I forget how many games they've played to this point. I'm going to be scrambling today, and I apologize, but we'll figure this out. This is not right, but 14 games played. What the heck? Oh, home. I'm looking at. Oh, yeah, Milwaukee. I will get to that. We're going to get to it. Just relax. Okay. So anyway, so everybody but the bottom 2 teams in each division makes it, which. There's 3 rounds, so there's some teams get pie and some don't. It's just the schedule looks the bracket looks a little funky, but they play a 72-game schedule, and the number of games played can vary. Let's see, Bellevue Senators have played 35. Milwaukee has played 30. So. That power play. And I need to get back to points. How do I get back to points? Where's points? Oh, okay. So, good. There we go. Now we're back to points. It's special teams. It's just kind of funky. This website. I click special teams, and then I guess you have to unclick it. So anyway, yeah. So the I told you just it's going to be. This is going to have to be, but we'll figure it out. We're 30 games into the season for Milwaukee. Like I said, some other like Belleville, not Bellevue. Belleville Senators have played 35. They play a 72-game season, so not approaching the halfway point for most of the teams anyway, I guess. Right now, the one thing I have to call out, and this podcast was recently followed by the podcast for this team, the Grand Rapids Griffins. It's just strange. It just started following the podcast like the last week, and now I'm doing this recap. And the Grand Rapids Griffins have played 31 games and have won 28 of them. An interesting way the AHL does it, that they list overtime losses and shootout losses separately. So they're 28, 1-1-1. 3 losses, 1 in overtime, 1 in regular time, 1 in overtime, and 1 in a shootout. Milwaukee did get is that overtime loss for Grand Rapids. So good for them. But 28, 1-1-1. What a record. Yeah, that's something else. But anyway, so that's the AHL 72 game season, kind of a mixed bag, number of teams in each division, and there's 8 teams are left out, the 2 bottom teams from each division. So that's how the Calder Cup gets determined. The Milwaukee Admirals play in the Central Division, which has 7 teams in it. So they're currently 4th in the division, which means that if the season were to end now, they would be in the playoffs. Be missing out would be the Texas Stars and the Iowa Wild. The Iowa Wild at 22 points, 9 points behind Milwaukee, 6 points behind Texas. So I don't know what to expect there, but we're not doing the Iowa Wild podcast, so who cares? Milwaukee did start off a little bit better to the season. They had a 9-game losing streak here in December, which let's see, they had four road games and a home game, then 3 road games and a home game against the Grand Rapids Griffins. So they played the Grand Rapids Griffins twice in that 9-game stretch and lost to them both times. On New Year's Eve, they beat the Griffins in overtime. So I think when it comes to Grand Rapids, they're 1-2 against Grand Rapids. So, but they had a 9-game losing streak. So that really, they played 30 games and they lost 9 in a row. So I think the fact that they're 4th in the league, really is really something. It means the rest of the schedule must be pretty good. I guess if they lost 9 in a row and they're 14-13, they would be 14-4. I guess some had to be overtime. No, none of them were overtime. None of them were interesting. None of them were overtime or shootout losses. Yeah, so they would be 14-4, 2-1. That'd be a heck of a record. So that 9. I guess I could try to look into that a little bit more and try to see if somebody was out, but hard to say. Okay. So they're 4th in the Central Division. They are 3 points behind the Manitoba Moose, who have played the same number of games. The Chicago Wolves are in 2nd, same number of games, but 36 points, so they're 5 behind them. And then 27 points behind the Grand Rapids Griffins, who have played 1 more game. I don't know. I think probably, if they... I was joking with Prudence earlier that they could probably lose the rest of their games and still make the playoffs. But I guess there's too many games left. There's 41 games left. So handy on the AHL site, they tell you how many games are remaining. I guess whatever. So then they're 2 points ahead of the Rockford Ice Hogs, who have played 3 more games. And... I think, what is Rockford Ice Hogs? Rockford, they're 4-2-1 against Rockford. They've got the most wins against Rockford. So, a lot of times they play these teams back to back. Well, they went out to San Jose. I guess this is the AHL. But they played 2 games in San Jose, and then... They're interesting how they've got some back-to-backs, like they played on the 7th and 8th of November. They played Rockford at home and away. So they do that a little bit, and then they have a fair number of back-to-back games too. And I'm guessing if it were against the same team, Like on the 19th and 20th of December, they played the Texas Stars in Texas. Lost both of those games, but yeah, I'm assuming it's to try to cut down on the amount of travel. If you haven't been following, we're not talking about the ECHL, but the ECHL players just went on strike. They're back. Something about rescheduling the games. The Gladiators missed 3 games during that time. But all trying to reconcile the whole travel issue. It's got to be tough on the minor league level. I was reading a little bit about the ECHL thing, and they talked about 9-hour bus rides. So I don't know what the deal is in the AHL if they fly. I assume when they went to San Jose, the Milwaukee Admirals didn't drive, but yeah, who knows? A little bit more for me to look into at some point in time. When I don't know, maybe during the Four Nations break or the Olympics or whatever the heck is going on in the middle of the season that's causing a big gap that I don't follow. Yeah. Anyway, so they did have that overtime win from Grand Rapids, and and so just kind of going through the schedule here a little bit. They have primarily played other teams in the Central Division. They're 11-11, 1-1 against Central Division teams. They've the Pacific, they've only played 4. They're 2-2 against Pacific Division. The North Division, they're 1-0-1, and they haven't played anybody in the Atlantic Division at all. Their home record, they're 9-4-1. Away record, 5-9-1. So 5-9-1-1. I believe they are playing today, I think at 5 o'clock. So if you're listening to this podcast and that game has already happened, today's game, the 4th, I don't have the stats on that, but definitely their record at home is better. I think 2 of those losses in the 9-game were at home, so 9-2-1, taking that 9-game losing streak out. Well, I guess 5-2-1. If we just take out all the losses, the team looks pretty good, doesn't it? So how they've done against the divisions, that's one of the things I looked into. The different teams, Rockford is 4-2-1 against Rockford. Texas, they're 2-2-1, even though Texas is below them. The Iowa Wild, they've only played twice. They beat them twice both times. Like I said, Grand Rapids, the best team in the division. They're 1-2 against them. The Central, or the Chicago Wolves, they're 2-4. So hands down, that's their worst team, only because they haven't played Grand Rapids 6 times. So, so Chicago Wolves, they're 2-4 against, which would be the worst team. Iowa, their best, 2-0. But the Henderson Silver Knights, 1-1. It'd be San Jose's Pacific. Yeah, San Jose. Yeah, okay. So they played in the Pacific Division. They played the Henderson Silver Knights and the San Jose Barracudas, and they're 1-1 against both of those teams. So that's the Milwaukee overall Milwaukee team stats. Let's move on to the players. And, again, this is where something like, okay, what kind of stats do I talk about? How many people do I talk about? And it just kind of fell out. Who I want to talk about, my favorites from training camps are Jacob Lucchini, Cole O'Hara, and I guess Reed Schaefer. Reed Schaefer is with the Predators, so we won't be talking about him. But let's go through it. The goal scoring lead is a guy I wasn't that impressed with, but number 43 left wing Daniel Carr. First on the team at 13. Tops in the league in goals is 21. This was one thing that was easy to find out on the AHL site and incredibly hard on the ECHL because they don't list everybody. They break you up by forwards and defensemen, so you have to flip back and forth to figure out, heaven forbid a defenseman be offensive. But the other thing to note about Daniel Carr is that in the AHL, he's 3rd in the league in points per game. So that's pretty good. So he's definitely performed better than I expected. A little bitty guy. I don't know why he just wasn't, he just did not, slow. And, when they were doing the laps, he was always last. He would be, I've got the long way back, they'd be broken up into, five gold jerseys, five blue jerseys, six white in this particular, and then they do laps, and he was slow. Slow. But, obviously something about it. He's obviously been able to score goals in the AHL and for Milwaukee, and he's third in the league in points per game. So there you go. Good job, Daniel. Next up, second in the team in goal scoring, also second in assist is number 19 center Jake Lucchini, one of my favorites. Second on the team in points with 27. Next up in goal scoring with 8 is number 12 defenseman Ryan Ufko, another one of my favorites. And also with 8 goals, be third since I went and I had to mention Ryan Ufko. I don't know how to say this name. Weisblatt, number 88 center Oasis Weisblatt. So he's third on the team in 8. And interestingly enough, he's 16th in the AHL in points per game. So, good call out there. I don't have enough screens to be able to look at all this stuff at one point in time. Where was he? Well, the difficult thing about judging them was, if you remember, they got him down here in the bottom. He was 30th, 31st. But the Weisblatts were late to training camp because their brother died. So that was, Anyway, not that I would necessarily have. I mean, I got Daniel Carr at 29th. So Oasis being down at 31st, hey. Anyway, so both of those, Ufko and Weisblatt, third on the team in goals with 8. Ufko is first on the team in assists with 22, and that puts him 6th in the AHL. So not 22 assists, really good leads the team, and only 5 players have more assists than him in the AHL. So he is first on the team in points at 30th, which puts him 14th in the AHL. So, Ryan Ufko really doing a good job with assists and points up in Milwaukee. Lucchini is second in points, so Ufko and Lucchini, the two guys leading the points here. What did I have here? Okay, so since I went to third in goals, I went to third in assists, and maybe that was a mistake. But here's why: because Cole O'Hara, one of my guys, third on the team in assists with 12. Number 77 right wing Cole O'Hara, and number 25 right wing Joakim Kamel, third with 12. O'Hara has 6 goals, and Kamel has 7. Just noting that. 28 is the top of the league in assists, 21 top of the league in goals. And then the other thing I noticed that Kyle Marino, who I had listed 17th on my list, he was practice with a tryout agreement, which I guess doesn't mean anything. And he was with Milwaukee. Maybe I guess that means he's signed by Milwaukee, not by Nashville. I'm not. Maybe I shouldn't even gone there, but 89 penalties in minutes, leading the team by 24. A lot of penalty minutes for Kyle Marino. 89 does put him third in the AHL, but nowhere close to first and second. First is 149 and second is 120. So Kyle, please don't try to make up that gap. But when it comes to points, penalties and minutes per game, he might be third as far as the just a raw number, but he's 19th in penalties and minutes per game. So there are people that haven't played as many games as he has that has a significant number of minutes per game. So that was something else to call out. And then goaltenders, I like these goaltenders. Number 32, Matthew Murray, getting most of the work. He's 10-8-2. And then number 30, Magnus Krona, 3-5-1. I think Murray got injured, or maybe it was Krona. I forget, but they did have to bring up number 31, Ethan Hayter, for a game, and he's 1-0-0. So he's back down in Atlanta now, but they did need to bring him up briefly. And so, that's the goaltenders, and I liked all the goaltenders. I'll just be honest with you. Some transfers of note. On the 8th of December, they signed number 22 left wing Sean Element to a professional tryout. He is with this season the Maine Mariners and the ECHL, and he was loaned to Providence for a few games, and now he's been loaned to Milwaukee on a professional tryout. Trying. He was with the Ontario Reign last year, the LA Kings top-level minor league team. And then before that, he was with the Syracuse Crush, another AHL team, for 3 years before that. So I'm not sure why he's now in the ECHL, but he is, and he's trying to get back up to the ACHL, so good for him. And we'll see how that goes. Like I said, that was on the 8th of December. On the 12th of December, something I missed, Kalen Lind, number 48, left-wing Kalen Lind, he was also in training camp, but he's been playing with Atlanta. Some of the players that were at training camp with Nashville did wind up down in Atlanta. The goaltenders were. They had 7 goaltenders at training camp. I'm not entirely sure where one of them went to. I guess I should have looked that up again. Something I meant to do. Yeah, Jakub Malota, unsigned 4th round 2024, reassigned to his junior club, Cape Breton. 6'1", 178 pounds. He's 19, so I guess that explains that. But yeah, Kalen Lind transferred from Atlanta to Milwaukee. The best of his stats are, I guess, still going to be down in Atlanta. And then on the 31st, they signed number 17 Isaac Walther to a professional tryout. He's 24. He was the 6th round draft pick, or a 6th round draft pick for Nashville in 2019. He was drafted by Nashville in 2019. From 21 to 25, he was at the University of Vermont for 4 years, and he started the year with Atlanta. The funny thing about him is December, he was Rookie of the Month in the ECHL. So Rookie of the Month, and then it sends you right up to the next team. So he's now doing a tryout in Milwaukee, and we'll see how that works out. And all the notes on them, the 3 people. I didn't do it in the same order, but, like I said, trying to figure all this out. Okay, so that's my babbling on about Milwaukee, and we'll take a break. Hopefully we don't have to too many breaks, but we'll take a break and talk about the ECHL. Right, so the ECHL, again, they also don't have the same number of the 4 divisions, but not the same number of teams. At least it's more evenly spread. They got 2 divisions with 8 and 2 with 7. So 8 in the North, 7 in the South, 7 in the Central, and 8 in the Mountain. So North and South are in the East, and Central and Mountain are the West. I guess to be clear, if I back up to the AHL, the Atlantic and the North are the Atlantic and the North are the Eastern Conference, and the Western Conference is made up of the Central and the Pacific. So the Milwaukee Admirals are in the Western conference in the AHL. Atlanta in the Eastern Conference, and in the let's scroll back down here and let's stick with let's try to make this make sense. They're in the South, so there's 7 teams in the South in the ECHL. Yeah, you have to scroll to get to anything on this particular website. It's really, everything is on the front page, and it just scroll. So not how I would do it, but that's how it's done. Anyway, and then they have the Kelly Cup in the ECHL, and the top 4 teams in each division qualify. So Atlanta is second in the South. The second in the South. They're second in the East, and they're third in the league because the Florida Everblades are 1 point ahead of them. Florida Everblades 1 point ahead of them, but have played 2 more games than Atlanta. Atlanta played 27 games, which is the least. They don't tell you how many games are remaining on this particular site. It's kind of interesting how they do things differently. And then we get to the top team in the North is the Wheeling Nailers. They've got 45 points. And so that makes Atlanta third in the conference, and funny enough, third in the league. So the league has the Wheeling Nailers at 45 points, the Everblades at 43, and the Gladiators at 42. Kansas City Mavericks are at 42 as well. So I guess that's where the first team out of the Western region comes in. Okay. My Tahoe Night Monsters. They're probably in. Yep, there's my Tahoe Night Monsters. I love the logo. Anyway, this is not the Tahoe Night Monster podcast. So let's get back to what we were supposed to be doing here. It's just talking about the Atlanta Gladiators. So there you go. The Gladiators are 2-6-0, and I got to see them last year. Went down to Charleston, got to see them lose, unfortunately, to the South Carolina Stingrays. So they're 21-6-0 at home. They're 12-2-0 and 9-4-0 away. So they got off to a brilliant start at the beginning of the year, and they didn't lose a game, and what it was, how many did they win? Like 6 in a row. They were the last team, if I remember correctly, to get a loss. So then they lost to the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. Then won 2 more, lost 2, had a 4-game winning streak, 3-game winning streak, 3-game winning streak. So that 2. So they lost 1, their first loss, won 2, then lost 2 back-to-back to the South Carolina Stingrays and the Jacksonville Icemen, back-to-back on the road. And then they haven't lost more than 1 in a row since then. They're playing really good down there in Atlanta. Players that were at training camp were Kalen Lind, which we talked about him. Now he's at Milwaukee. Number 21 defenseman Jack Mattier was at training camp, and he started out the season in Milwaukee and then got moved to Atlanta at some point. And then number 39 defenseman Chad Nichuk is also playing for Atlanta, but he was here in Nashville for the training camps. Didn't really have a lot to comment on as far as those particular players go. Just looking back up here. Yeah, Chad Nichuk, I had him as my 18th defenseman, and Kalen Lind, he was in my second group of 12, so I had him ranked at 23rd. And who else was, another defenseman, Nichuk. Where's Nichuk? Yeah, Nichuk I had at 18th. Who was it? Oh, Matty A. Matty A was 16th. So both of those were in my third group. Yeah, I had Spencer Stastny in my second group of 6. But, now he's somewhere else. There you go. Okay, so that's the players that are with Atlanta that none of them I would say would be my favorite, but I, did note them that they were there because that's what I was doing. I probably should have done this already, but just kind of looking through, and I don't really think I've got any particular notes regarding any of those 3 players. So let's just go through the stats here for Atlanta. The top goal scorer and third in points is number 19 center Jack O'Brien. Also with 13 points, number 22 right wing Isaac Walther. And how is Walther? Okay, that's right. He just went up to Milwaukee. So getting myself confused here. Thank you, which is really great. Makes the podcast sound so much better when I don't even know what I'm talking about. And then next up is number 29 center Louis Boudon. But in the transfer list, Boudon is going to Mikan Jekurit in Liga Finland. So he's leaving the team, and that was announced on the 29th of December, but he is third on the team in goal scoring with 12. So one goal behind. He's second on the team in assists with 18. First on the team first on the team in points with 30, which puts him 8th in the ECHL. Bye-bye, Louis. Wouldn't want you to stick around with numbers like that. I don't know what's going to happen. Not sure why that is. And some of this stuff is just so hard to find. But I found a couple new websites to get information off of. Like I said, it was kind of a slog. And then, I guess, number 39 defenseman Chad Nychuk, he's first on the team in assists. So what did I know? I mean, I got him down in 18th. Looks under. He beat Kostov, slowest in the Whites last. He just looked under. What the hell does that mean? Oops, sorry. What does that mean? But I don't know. But I did have a note about him. Anyway, so there you go. He's first on the team in assists. So when one of the odd things is that the ECHL breaks things up by forward defenseman. So he's at 21 points. He's third in the league in assists for defensemen, 5th overall of all skaters. Third on the team in points with 24. And then carrying on, I don't know why, but I guess second on the team in points with 25. He's third on the team in assists with 16 is number 13 center Alex Young. And then the top goals in the league was 16. So Jack O'Brien and Isaac Walther having 13. That gets them right up there. 27 is the top in assists, and Chad Nychuk has 21. Tops in points in the league is 43, 30 for Louis Boudon, who's no longer playing for the team, but there you go. And then number 8, defenseman Ryan Conroy, 42. I'm sure that's penalty minutes. He's first on the team by 24 minutes. But nowhere near nothing is record as far as the ACHL. I guess Atlanta just doesn't take that many penalties, which is great. That's my favorite. Looking at the goaltenders, I'm just going to start with Ethan Hayter. Number 31, Ethan Hayter, he's 10-3-0, which is 4th in the ECHL in wins. But really, the most we've got to talk about is number 35, TJ Simptomhelter. Did it! Oh, yeah, Simptomhelter. Just I went for it. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. It's so long. It's a good thing he's a big guy because you don't have to wrap the whole name around in them or use a really small font. He's 11-3-0. So Hyder's 10-3-0 and Symptom Hiller is 11-3-0. So with 11 wins, he's second in the ECHL in wins. He's got the fifth best goals against average. The thing that's interesting about that, he's played 14 games. And the people ahead of him, the top three played one game, and then another guy only played 2 games, and then one person played 5. So the people ahead of him have played not a lot of games. So his goals against average is pretty much tops in the league, and anybody that's played significant numbers of games. And he's 6th in save percentages, the same thing. 3 of the people ahead of him have played 1 game, and 2 people have played 2. So Symptom Helter. Yeah, kind of have to relax. Playing great. He was had signed to a tryout agreement. He had been playing with the Bridgeport in the AHL and North Dakota, and that's where he had been, I guess, prior to coming to the Preds training camp. So that was that's a good pickup. Whoever called him out, good call out, good there, because he's doing really well there in the ECHL. As far as transfers, called it out that on the 30th, Isaac Walters has been technically loaned till Milwaukee. Go figure. And on the 29th, Louis Boudon is going to Finland. And there was a trade, and there was a trade, 2 players going to Iowa and 2 players coming from Iowa. I saw the transfers. I figured there had to be a trade, and finding this kind of stuff out was a little bit on the tough side. So there you go. I hope that wasn't too bad. I hope it was informative. I think if I do this more, now that I've got a lot of the things built with the spreadsheet, I track everything in spreadsheets. I really shouldn't, but I don't. It's easy. I really should have a database, and I've done my share of database work in the past. I never wanted to be a DBA, but I've even taught DBA classes in the past. So being a software developer, I've had to build databases for storage in the past. I just haven't done it in a while, and Anyway, so I've got kind of the structure down, and we've done this once. So when I do another update, hopefully I will have my shtick down a little bit better. I'll know what I'm getting into, and I won't have to rebuild everything that happened at the beginning of the season. So but basically, down in the minor leagues, so we've got some really good things going on. Good players. Atlanta is doing great, and Milwaukee is in the mix. So, hopefully they all make the playoffs. We still got a little ways to go. But, thanks for putting up with this. I just, like I said, I saw these guys at training camp and got a little bit invested into a couple of them. And, it just, I wanted to go back and, see how they were going. And, things look like they're going good down in the minor leagues. I think if the Preds wind up someplace where they've got to call people up, hopefully they don't, then they've got people that are ready to come up and fill in. So anyway, that's it for your minor league update. Thanks for listening. I'm Preston Proctor, and you've been listening to Predators Proclivity.